So the aim of this video is to address an issue that a large number of English French students, even people that I know who go to university with me, seem to have with the pronunciation of French. And that is the difference between two particular vowels in French, which both roughly correspond to oo in English. The sounds that I'm talking about are u, which is spelled u, and oo, which is spelled O-U. Now, a lot of people don't seem to quite be able to grasp the difference between the two vowels, whereas in fact to a French person they're as distinct as A and I, or any other two vowels. And because of this, a lot of people seem to think that these words either are homophones, you know, sound the same, or they are sort of half rhymes, whereas in fact they're completely different words because they have the different vowel sound in them. Either they think they sound the same, or they know there's some kind of difference somewhere along the line, and they sometimes try to differentiate, but they don't really know when you say u and when you say oo. But honestly, it's as simple as the difference between any other two vowels. The letter u on its own, as in tu, is always u, except for sometimes it can be a nasal vowel, whereas ou is always u, as in tu, except for in the case of some loan words like la musique aus. Now the thing is, not knowing the distinction between these two vowels is something that makes it painfully obvious to a French person, no matter how beautiful the rest of your accent is, that you're not a native speaker. Because if you go around saying things like, ah, y a beaucoup de beaucoup, là-dessus, et là-dessus, then, you know, you just don't sound very convincing. Also, a big problem there is that dessus and dessous mean literally the opposite. So if you don't know how to differentiate between them, then there's a problem. In the IPA, the International Phonetic Alphabet, for those of you who don't know, U is represented by something that looks like our letter Y, whereas U is represented by something that looks like our letter U. So whenever you see French spelt in the IPA, it's always, you know, tu will be spelt T-Y, and tu will be spelt T-U, which can be confusing because obviously T-U is how you spell tu, not tu, but whatever. Now, a lot of people obviously struggle with making the difference between these two sounds. I think the most difficult of the two is the U. U is comparable to quite a few sounds in English. I mean, it's more similar to our oo than u, and it's also present at the end of the sound o, if you kind of just extend it a bit, o. So a lot of people struggle to make the u sound because it's so alien to us. But I'm here today to tell you that there is an easy way to make the u sound without exerting yourself too much. The thing is, the shape they make with your lips when you're saying u is almost exactly the same as when you're saying oo. Your lips are rounded, like. The difference is the shape that your tongue makes. In fact, you keep your tongue in roughly the same position as you do when you're making the sound E. So, if you say E, and while you're saying that round your lips, you'll go from E to E, U, U, tu, tu. There you go, that's the difference. It's easy really, you just have to practice it a few times. And so, because of that, these words are not homonyms. They don't sound the same, they don't rhyme, they don't even half rhyme. To a French person, the difference between vu and vous is as distinct as the difference between, for example, bête and bat. They're completely different words. Now that we know the difference between the sounds, we can go through a few examples. Dessus, dessous, dessus, dessous, dessus, dessous, dessus, dessous, nu. Nous. Montre pas, nous sommes nus. I'm not really, don't worry. Cul, cou. Ah ouais, ce cheval-là, il fait toujours beaucoup de cul. That's apparently what a coup de cul is. A vu, avoue. Oh, monsieur, il avoue qu'il a vu ce qui s'est passé. Comment? Il avoue qu'il a vu ce qui s'est passé? Fais l'entrée. Salut. Alors, tu avoues que tu as tout vu? Oui, c'est ça. Tu. Tout. Voilà. Merci, mon cher, t'es trop gentil. Ok, chérie, bon appétit. Ah, chérie, j'ai fini. Tu as déjà tout mangé? Bah oui. So that's that. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Perhaps you were enlightened by it, you might have learned something new, that would be nice. If you have anything you want to say about this video or any requests for future videos, please feel free to drop me an ask on Tumblr or leave a comment on the YouTube. C'est tu. À plus! You see what I did there?